What is up everyone, Theo here with another quick commentary video, this time with a Resto Druid perspective of Morchie, one of the more annoying fights in the new Dawn of the Infinite Mega Dungeon. The most important mechanic is many problems. On the surface it's pretty simple, just find the Morchie without a hat and run behind her. Luckily, if you're in poor position, between cat form and 2 different sprints, you should have no problem making it to the other side of the platform, even if it takes you a little bit to find the right Morchie. Her second mechanic is Familiar Faces, which requires you to kite a clone of yourself into sand traps. On its surface, again, this mechanic is pretty simple. When traps spawn, pick one away from your allies, position yourself next to it, and be ready to kite your ad through it. Be aware of your teammates though, this fight gets crazy when you have multiple people trying to use the same traps. For us, this is where things start to spiral out of control slightly. During Morchie's second many problems phase, I end up running to the wrong clone. Luckily, I'm on the edge of the room and still dodge her breath. One of my DPS, however, is not as lucky and ends up dying. I start looking to battle res them, however this is right when Familiar Faces start. While I'm looking to get in range to res, I run straight towards my clone. Luckily, I'm able to get some distance and re-trap my clone, allowing me to eventually get my battle res off. We aren't out of the woods just yet though. Immediately after I res, another Familiar Faces phase starts. The DPS I just resed and I both go for the same trap. While my clone gets trapped, I end up dying to their clone, and we need to burn our second battle res to get me back up. Shortly after this, we lose another DPS to being on the wrong side of Morchie's breath. Now, we're down a DPS with no battle reses. The next couple of ad phases go pretty smoothly for me, giving myself time to get caught up on healing, do some damage, and even help the tank out with an Ursul's Vortex to take care of their clone. I get a little turned around in this many problems phase, though with the speed boost from cat form I'm able to recover with no problem. We end up losing another DPS to this Familiar Faces phase, meaning we need to 3-man the rest of the fight. At this point, I realize we're down a DPS and I need to start doing some more damage, so I swap into Moonkin form for a little bit more DPS. During this many problems phase, I'm caught out of position quite a bit. I don't make it to the right ad in time. However, I make it to the edge of the room and I'm able to just barely dodge the breath. Here, the tank ends up taking the trap that I was planning on using, so I need to reposition myself, but it doesn't cause much of a problem. Luckily, in a way, this fight becomes a lot easier with some DPS down. While it takes longer, the clones are much easier to kite during familiar phases as you end up having a lot more traps you can use. A little bit weird of a boss design, I think, having it become easier with more people dead, but regardless, it helps us finish off the last bit of percent and kill her. And that's Morchie in the Dawn of the Infinite Mega Dungeon. Definitely one of the more frustrating fights from this instance, but due to Druid's mobility and our ability to cast while moving, we are actually pretty well suited to handle it. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more casual healing content, and I'll see you next time.